So all the other years know nothing about you never find out, and the ones who are more I know what's the structure which you could put. If you have, let's look at the practice, Dr. Empty, she's going to put you in. No, if it is one.
Yeah, I think it's probably best.
Yeah, okay, that would be good. So, after you right after this, right after this. Right after this, you're talking, you're not we have in the three email, which we did other than the agenda, I read a couple of things which talked about the agenda. So this is what you came on. The agenda was fixed at 9:10, it was 12:40, which we came up with, okay? Yes, no, no. Okay, then let's introduce yourself.
Hey folks, just wanted to let you know that we're going to get started. We're going to turn the sound on as soon as the presenters get started. Just wanted to let y'all know.
Any IT person?
Hello. All the speakers that are tonight, can you please come up to the front? The speakers tonight, I know I've met most of them excepting for one. Looking nice to meet you. Jeff is new at this.
Hi everyone, can we please get the speakers to come to the front real quick? We need to talk to, we just need to get some
Let me a second.
organizational things for the meeting.
I was just gonna do that.
Squared away real quick. Speakers, please come to the front.
Hi, I'm Angelique. Hi, good to meet you. I emailed you or Facebook messaged you. Yeah, so I see I've heard of your business and so much. Awesome.
I want to thank you all for your, patience? Wait, I have a messenger coming here to tell me something. Okay, so we have requested everybody move as close to the front as they can, but I've got to tell you also, people keep streaming in, and which is great because we feel that burn. So try to be a little more patient. Try to be just give us a few more minutes to get more people settled in. Thank you. We need all speakers up here as soon as possible. Calling all speakers.
Actually, I'm gonna call them by name. Okay. No, I know you are. You are okay. Oh, is it you? You have to introduce you. Oh, she's a mom. She's like just the operation. She's not calling you and wanting
You know what?
No, you be here. Okay.
Right. Oh, and I'm sharing the record. Okay. Hi. That's why my head's really full. It's gonna be a no. I think it was what? I think you get like Okay, Sharon is up here.
Dr. Laura Chamberlain, Carrie Barber, can you please come to the podium?
Okay, guys. Okay, everybody. All right, this is our list. She is our timekeeper. We are on a very strict schedule. And each presentation, unless it's otherwise noted, is 5 minutes. Our list will give you a 2-minute warning. Okay, 2 minutes. Then she will give you a 1-minute warning. I gotta switch that over. I think I put it upside down. Then she will give you 30 seconds. And then when your time is up, she will give you 10. Okay, so that's fine. If you're short of 5 minutes, then we will more time in the breakout rooms, right? But you need to pay attention to our list. She is the timekeeper is the most important speaker. So I know. I've been awake for like 3 hours today. Not just 5 moments. Oh gosh, that's what the email was. I don't know why. I run like 5 numbers. Oh no, not yeah, I don't make sure we get things before it's not ready. We're all going to set up like that. Oh my god, isn't that okay, but
Okay. And 1 and 2 and go.
1, 2, 3. Feel the burn. Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
Feel the burn. Okay, we are going to be coming to order so we can start getting together and then start planning. Okay, so please go to your seats. And if you have a problem with my accent, it's okay. I will talk very slowly, but I do speak English. My name is Shwapna Bauman. Please call me Mrs. B. Takes a lot of time out of my life. I'm 63 plus years old, and I very well have a voice though, and I say it all the time because I meet a lot of people who say, what can I do? You got a voice, you got a phone, you can do a lot. So let's start. This is the race about a very authentic candidate that I have ever come across in my life. Right? His policies has been the basis of many policies that has been adopted by municipalities. For how many years he's been ahead in his fight for racial and social justice, economic justice, for women, for the LGBT community, for young people, old people, disabled, veterans, everything. So, but what's happening, he's not being covered. He's not being covered. How terrible is that? So corporate-backed America, corporate-backed so-called democratic, they're not covering him because they don't want him. So one of the things that we wanted to do, or when we have gotten together, Sharon said, I do things big. And so she just went and got this room. I was supposed to introduce her, but she said, we need somebody else because I didn't know she was coming. And she is as awesome as Sharon. And I was like happy to see her when I saw her in the meeting. She's a facilitator who creates groups, and she gives them the tools to organize better. Please give a big hand for Carrie Barber.
I'm not used to speaking to a group and being stuck in one place, so it's going to be a little hard. But what I'm doing with particular groups, I have my own groups, but my expertise is in helping you learn to fly, helping groups get organized. Better? Okay. Getting groups organized and helping you work together, not just with your team, but with each other. And through that effort, we expand exponentially into our reach. So a lot of people have expressed some concern with the organization of this grassroots movement. And let me explain it very simply. Think of a beehive. At the core of the beehive, you have that central figure. That figure is in a service model. So any of you who've heard Bernie speak and talk about his message and his vision will understand it's a servant leadership model. So take what you know about a hierarchy, that pyramid, turn it upside down. So that leader becomes the servant. And this is what we're doing in the grassroots movement, the same thing. We're all just volunteers. So when you have a lead with your group, they're there to facilitate your activity. You are the ones who are actually making a difference. And that difference can be made in very small ways. It's very powerful. It's personal relationships. So when you're talking to your friends and your neighbors, your family members, they know you, they respect you, they love you. So when you share your opinion and your passion, you plant a seed. And when that seed starts to grow, they're gonna come to much the same conclusion you had before. So this is why what you are doing is so powerful. So these teams may look a little chaotic, a little unorganized, but believe me, this is the best way for it to work, because what works in my area may not work in yours. But as a team lead, I'm working with each and every county, I'm working with the city of Chicago, and together we roar. So keep that in mind as we go through. We have different personalities and different ways of approaching things, but each and every one has extreme value. So when there's a little bit of confusion, you're not sure how things are gonna run, just keep going with it. Keep doing your little things, because it all adds up to big things. And when that call comes out, either from me or from someone else, and I say, I need 400 volunteers for this, be ready, because those are the big actions. So we got a couple of those coming up, and hopefully at the end of the presentation, we'll get to talk about those really big things that you can do that's gonna have a huge impact, not only in Chicago, but across our state and across our region. So thank you for coming. You could have been anywhere else and you chose to be here today. That really speaks volumes. So thank you.
Doesn't she speak beautifully? I love the way she speaks. Now I gotta look at the agenda again. Little distracted. I'm like Bernie, but not as put together. Okay, she said the goals. Okay. Now we are going to introduce a very young gentleman, same age as my son, 30 years old. I love him. He's part of one of our very core groups. And today I hope when we go away, our core group will be larger. His name is Ben Carmel. He is a bilingual teacher, and he's always available. He's chairman of his department. He knows several languages, and he has this video to motivate us. It's called Feel the Burn. Ben, where are you?
I'm right here. That was too nice, Mrs. B. I don't want to take credit for this. It's not my video. I found it. I found it through Reddit, actually. Is anyone here through Reddit? Just curious.
Yes.
Nice. A lot of exciting organizing going on that site. So this is just it's sort of a look at the last couple months of the campaign to help motivate us.
You don't have lights ready?
No, I'm collecting.
That's fine, that's fine. Just, yeah.
Should I move? I'll move. I'll move.
No, you're good.
Just tell me to move. I'll move.
No, you're fine, Miss Lee.
Started as the mayor of Burlington. A long shot then, a bigger long shot now. He's an unlikely presidential candidate taking on the biggest front runner the Democratic Party has ever seen. One poll shows him down 60 points. He's not going to be the nominee. I don't know if Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, right.
This airplane's pretty like spinning. And you almost have to feel sorry for Bernie. He's not their guy.
Yeah, I don't feel
As a
sorry.
Hillary supporter, I think she will be the nominee. She is ahead, George, in it by a long shot. They don't see Bernie Sanders as a real threat.
Yeah, right.
Clinton crushes him in national polls by more than 40 points. Hillary probably will never win nominee. Even Democrats admit he may not be their best shot at the White House. This primary could burn out. Major structural problems with Bernie Sanders here. She is going to crush him. He is not the nominee.
Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders may be gaining a little bit of momentum as he seeks to challenge Hillary Clinton for the Democratic presidential nomination.
I think there's some real energy behind Sanders right now.
His views may be gaining traction.
He stands for something. He's not afraid to say it. He may be the candidate of the summer.
Right.
Look at Bernie Sanders' rise, tripling his support. The hottest thing in American politics right now is a socialist from Vermont. It's a rocket ship from Lafayette to General.
5% support in February, all the way to
That's right.
Travel from across Colorado. Sanders 35. That's another Bernie Sanders is the candidate of the summer. He has a lot of support. A new poll today in Iowa showed that Bernie Sanders is gaining momentum.
Senator Bernie Sanders drew out there this week.
3,000 in Minneapolis. 5,000 in Burlington. The surprise surge in race for the White House and during the scary Hillary Clinton's camp.
She may be the Democratic frontrunner, but this Clinton is feeling the burn. The Vermont senator is closing in on Democratic frontrunner Hillary Clinton. We know what Bernie Sanders wants, and a lot of Democratic Party, let's be honest, they want it too. 5,000 in Denver. In recent days, Bernie bent to drawing larger crowds than every candidate voted. White House, Bernie Sanders has made history with a packed stadium in Madison, Wisconsin, possibly as many as 10,000 people. It was another full house.
I know.
Senator
That's
Bernie
amazing.
Feel the burn. That's right, feel the burn. Don't worry about it. Sure, we have to be a serious force for the campaign.
Could Kevin end up very soon because they don't have the firing secretary of Canada?
It is possible, and Bernie Sanders, he could win Iowa, he could win New Hampshire.
Hillary Clinton is feeling the heat from a suddenly surging Bernie Sanders.
It's actually a statistically high.
15,000 people. They turned out in droves to greet Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders could have the biggest draw.
One of the most unpredictable presidential campaigns in memory. Bernie Sanders is drawing even bigger crowds than you. Have you drawn a crowd of 25,000? Today, National Labor Union representing nurses.
That's right.
First vote ever for Sanders.
Whoa, looks like the crowd is really, really swell. These people are very excited. It's kind of Woodstock.
The last 24 hours have been a real mess. Another poll shows Bernie Sanders gaining ground on her.
And dropping below 50% for the first time. And then look at Bernie Sanders. He's at 30%.
When we come together as a nation, when we say enough is enough,
Enough.
together, there is nothing, there is nothing, there is nothing.
Oh, wow. That was amazing. The light on. The light.
Well, we're gonna need it on.
Nice
presentation.
Angie, where's the light?
Sorry, guys, that was the best we could do on sound.
Oh, that was great.
That was excellent. Ben actually found it and we looked at it as you must have it.
Can you get around? So you send it around to all the Facebook page?
Of course, of course.
Yes.
Yes. So we're gonna go on to this. It says hot button topics. And
I'm gonna start with this. You know how he's always misrepresented as a socialist, and I'm just gonna give out a few definitions before I call on to the next. It says, democratic. He's really a democratic socialist, and the way they try to talk about it is like we are the takers, and we are not. The ones who are taking is the corporate wealthy. Socialism is loud and alive. But it's not us. It's the few people that they maximize, they privatize their gains, and they socialize their losses on the backs of all of us. And somehow when we go out, we have to somehow make that hurt. Now, I have somebody very good who's going to talk on this topic. She graduated from the University of Illinois at Chicago with a double bachelor's degree in psychology and sociology. She also spent an entire year living and studying in the Netherlands, seat of socialism, democratic socialism, experiencing firsthand the kind of society that Bernie is proposing. She is currently pursuing a master's degree in psychometrics. I was very wowed at that, which is a fancy way of saying scholarly research at a high level of data analysis. She intends to start a PhD in political science in the fall of 2016. Please give a big hand to Angelique Bodine, another friend because of Bernie.
So the topic of socialism, I don't know how everybody else is experiencing it, but we did, my group over close to Rockford, that's where I'm from, is out by Rockford. We have been really working with a lot of the local groups out there to do fairs. We worked with the McHenry County for Bernie Sanders on their McHenry County Fair. We had a booth in the Winnebago County Fair. And if you know, or I'm sorry, Boone County Fair. If you know anything about Boone County, it's not just red, it is crimson red, like blood red. So, and actually it was a really great experience because the sheriff of Boone County came over to the booth one night when I was sitting there alone. And he said to me, "Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see Bernie represented at this fair." He said to me, "I didn't think anybody was brave enough to bring a Bernie booth here." And I said to him, "Are you a Bernie fan?" And he says, "Well, I'm a Republican. If you want to get elected to anything here, you've got to be a Republican." And his wife is sitting there going like this. It felt like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge type of thing, you know? So anyways, that dreaded question is, we did get a few things, what is a, I'm not going to vote for that man, he's a socialist. So, our response to him, and I'm sure that everybody here, many people here have a really great response to the question, what is a socialist? But one thing that the group that we have found doing the fairs has found is, if you just ask them, okay, what is a socialist? Then some people don't exactly know what a socialist is. Okay, so it's oftentimes not what they think. A lot of times people equate socialism with Hitler. Hitler was not a socialist. Hitler was exactly the opposite of a socialist. So really what it means, Mrs. B gave a definition of socialism. Bernie is actually not a complete socialist either. He is a democratic socialist. And democratic socialist means that it is an economy and a society that is run democratically to meet the public needs, not to make profit for the few. So here is.
Say it again. Yeah.
Okay, basically it is a. Hold on. Okay, there it is. It is both the economy and society which is run democratically to meet the public needs, not make profits for a few. Socialism, it's a socialism that exists within a capitalistic framework.
There you go. Important part.
So, let me see. Here is the political spectrum in the United States. We have over here on the extreme left, we have communism. We have fascism on the extreme right. Okay, we have Democrats and Republicans that are somewhere. The Republicans are over here. Liberalism is here, and Bernie would be somewhere right here. He is left of center, but he's not extreme left like a lot of people want to portray him. The problem is that right now, who is being represented is over here. The extreme right is being represented. So that's what Bernie is about, is, it is not right that only a few are being represented. He wants to take things and, it's not the middle class people's fault that we are in the situation that we are in. So he wants to make things to where it is fair for all of us. And he's focusing on programs that, such as health care for all, Social Security, and, other things.
Education.
Oh, yes, education. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm kind of on a short leash here. So, no, that's okay, because I'm about done. I just got the 30-second thing. So basically, corporations are not people. Bernie is the only one of all of the politicians that is willing to stand up to the social or the corporate class and try to level the playing field for us people.
That's why we love them.
Yes.
Angie, thank you. Can you do a favor to everybody? Send that beautiful piece of work that you worked on to all of us. That's what you need to do. Put it on your Facebook page, friend each other, and you please do that, okay? All right. Now, the next one, actually, I don't even know which. Okay. Oh, hi. Okay. I have never met her, but I see her being extremely active. I've been told she's the guru of organizing. And you want her on your team because she's full of pep and energy. And if you fall asleep, she will make sure that you are not falling asleep and make you work. I'm sorry this is such a short introduction, but when you hear her, she doesn't need any introduction. Dr. Laura Chamberlain.
Hi. And should I just nab to you to move forward?
Okay, great. Hello, everyone. So good to see you. We are so excited about Bernie. I was very, very active in Dennis Kucinich's campaign for president. And I am feeling the burn because this is so much bigger. It's just great. So I wanted to talk about getting organized for Bernie because there's a couple things going on, and we kind of need to get more organized, or else we're not going to make it in Illinois. I kind of know the trajectory of where we need to be. So please humor me. And so getting organized in Illinois, the petitions that we're going to have to get signed for Bernie and the delegates petitions that we're going to have to get signed for Bernie are all per congressional district. Okay, U.S. congressional district. But to knock on doors and to really get the votes, you have to organize by the smallest election jurisdiction in your area. In Chicago, it's by ward. Okay, our elections are organized by ward and then precincts. So the goal is, by organizing your area, is that you will reach out, get more and more volunteers so that you get a group that's a leadership team in your, and I'm just saying 2 to 5, could be 7, a leadership team in your area, like in Chicago ward, and then you're going to reach out and you're going to try to get at least 1 volunteer per precinct, okay? So that's your goal. You are, preferably that person that's volunteering per precinct is one that lives in that precinct. But if you have a lot of people in precinct 7 and no people in precinct 3, you can move them around. But this is the goal of where we need to be. And just, you guys might not know it, a lot of you are from the counties around Cook County, but in Cook County, Rahm and the Democratic leadership are going to be coming in for Hillary big time, and they already are. They're already putting robocalls out for Hillary. Did you know that? From the aldermen. So we have a very serious Democratic leadership structure in Chicago that's already out there. So we need to kind of bump up our game, okay? In Chicago, and I'm sure in the other counties as well. Okay, next one. Cool. Okay, great. So one of the things that the problem is that everybody's putting up a Facebook page and they're putting up events and they're like, Lakeview for Bernie, and oh gosh, there's 3 of us over here for Bernie, and we got to find each other, you guys. We got to start to find each other. And your Facebooks have to represent the area that you're organizing. So in Chicago, it should be ward. We have a 49th ward for Bernie. We have a 47th ward for Bernie, 48th ward for Bernie. Please be clear on your Facebook page. So if you put up a Facebook already for Bernie, then 2 minutes, wow, then you can change your name once and bring it down to your area where you're organizing, okay? And make that in Chicago ward, and in the other areas, in the other counties, town and county. There, you'll have to decide with the other people that you're going to meet with today, whether you want to do town or county, okay? Most of us, our election jurisdictions are by county. Chicago has its own election jurisdiction, and that's for a reason. Their reason, their nefarious reason. Okay, so search BernieSanders.com for events. Reach out to people that are organizing those events, coalesce. If there are 4 Facebook pages for Evanston, coalesce, bring it down to 1, so other people can find you easily. Everything is growing very fast and very exponentially, so we have to make it easy for people to find us, okay? Only 1 minute, great. So I'm not gonna get through this, I'm sure. So if they are multiple, okay, next one. Okay, there are 18 congressional districts. Please know the congressional district that you're in. This is your U.S. representative, okay? And I have given you a link here, Government Track. It's a really good link for maps of your congressional district. Know the area that you're organizing. So ward maps can be obtained from the Board of Elections, Chicago Board of Elections, or your alderman's office. And so here's where you can get maps of the congressional districts. Next one. Okay, is there any way I can have more than 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'll go as fast as I can, okay? So reach out to other groups in your congressional district. In the 9th congressional district, Jan Schakowsky's, we've already started reaching out. We've met in Evanston, yeah, exactly. So we're reaching out. We want to meet more and more and more. Put up a Facebook page for your congressional district. So not only the smaller election jurisdiction, but also your congressional district. And you're going to want to have a leadership team for the congressional district. And we want redundancy, you guys. We're all volunteers, and people get sick and they move away and they lose their jobs, okay? So please make a team for every area that you're organizing, at least 2 to 3 people. Yes. And everybody gets administration on the listservs and the Facebook pages, okay? Yes. We cannot let somebody go down and then lose all of the contacts that we have, okay? Great. So you're going to redundancy while in the congressional district breakouts today, okay? Please go around, know who you're there. These are the things that we need. We need people with election experience, leadership skills, and availability, okay? Writing skills, printing capabilities, fundraising skills, music and artistic skills, connections with other groups, if you have other civil society that you belong to, and houses and spaces to meet in, right? And we are going to want to vote on a leadership team. And it's really, really good to have somebody who's worked elections before to be on your leadership teams. We have an election lawyer in the 9th Congressional District. I love to hear this woman because she absolutely actually fights for the elections at the Board of Elections. So she's going to be on our leadership team in the 9th Congressional District, okay? So know who you are and what you can do, and be realistic about this. If you have people that have real good capabilities, bring them in and engage them in the way that they can be the strongest. Okay, next one, thanks. Educate yourself. This is the elections.il.gov is the State Board of Elections. State Board of Elections, there is a presidential delegate guide at the State Board of Elections. Please read it, okay? It's all about delegates and petitions. Here's voter information is up there as well. You can get your walking list of registered voters from your ward, town, city, county election jurisdiction. You can also get them from the State Board of Elections, but you gotta pay money, so don't go there. Go to your local election jurisdiction, okay? Some of them still may charge you, but register your vote yourself. Make sure that you know how people can register and who can register, okay? Here in Illinois, we have online registration, so you don't need to be a voter registrar, okay? Okay, oh, thanks. Delegates for Bernie, okay? It is really, really important. Is it okay to go for one more second? Okay, great. I had a lot to cover in 5 minutes. So delegates for Bernie. Delegates are, each congressional district gets a certain amount of delegates for Bernie, okay? It is really, really important to have delegates who know the election system, who know Bernie's platform, who are tried and true progressives, because when they hit the Democratic National Convention, they are going to have to fight for Bernie and fight for Bernie's platform.
Yeah.
So you are not going to want to send the weak-willed to the Democratic National Convention, okay? So make sure they know what they're doing. They're tried and true, that they can bring a constituency. When I ran as a delegate for Dennis Kucinich, people voted for me. They didn't even know Dennis, but they knew me, and they said, well, I voted for you. And if you like that guy, I'm going to vote for that guy. Okay, so see if you can't pull in that. We're going to have to gather the delegates and make them diversified as race and gender as well. Okay, and I think that's it. Things to do, BernieSanders.com, put everything up there. Every meetup you got up there, just put it up there. There's organizing packs now for the Bernie gear. You can get them. Also, if you have someone to go to Iowa to pitch in over the next couple of weeks, they can get stuff. They can get stuff for you. So have them take an SUV and get you stuff, okay? And then you're gonna reach out to small businesses, organizations, nursing homes, and flyer events, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Again, send this out, extremely valuable. I would say a very good, I wouldn't say lecture in a bad way, but a real good educational thing, and we would benefit from that. My next person, I gotta look at this phone thing to look at it. Actually, I'm waiting to go on Medicare so I can get my eyes done. So please bear with me because I have to read from here. Okay, all right. You know, everybody knows about Bernie's advocacy for women. And he's actually a very good, strong advocate. He's a feminist, actually. If he was a woman, she'd be a feminist. Actually, he's a male feminist, whatever it's called. But I just love him dearly because he believes all of us should have freedom. And he's always been a very strong advocate for women's rights for way back when. We have someone here to speak to that. Formerly of the People for Bernie Sanders, founder of both Chicago and Illinois for Bernie online organizer networks, and organizer for the People's Revolution, which empowers everyday people to become organizers. She also worked for Chewy's campaign. I phoned back for her. She was one among many young people, an asset to the community, and a strong ambassador for Bernie. I met her. I love her dearly. She makes me think of my daughter. A big hand for Shauna East.
Hello, everyone. How's it going? Is everybody awake? Yes. Okay, good. So I'm a proud feminist. I don't think that's a bad word. My whole life I've wanted there to be a woman president. I remember being a little girl wondering why we haven't had a woman president, right? But this is not the right woman president. So a lot of politicians talk about pay equity for women being sort of a catch-all that is going to make us equal. And I think we can tell by what's happened with President Obama. A lot of African Americans and people of color thought, this is going to mean the end of racism. And I think we all in this room know that this was not the end of racism. No. We are very much in the thick of it, and voting for Hillary Clinton will not mean the end of sexism for us women. We also know that pay equity, when was the last time some of us ladies got our hair cut or went clothes shopping or went to the mechanic? We pay more for everything. Yes. We're marketed to, every product is marketed to us. We are, the biggest consumers. So even if we have pay equity, we are still in the hole. So what I love about Bernie is he looks at us as more than just a two-dimensional person. We are three-dimensional, we are complex, and every single one of Bernie's initiatives speaks to women's issues. And I'm just gonna name a few. Bernie wants to not only protect a woman's right to choose and have reproductive rights, her own decisions over her body, but he wants to expand that right. He wants to nominate Supreme Court justices, only Supreme Court justices that will uphold Roe versus Wade. He wants to make childcare and pre-K available to all Americans. Not only does he want to increase the minimum wage to $15 an hour as well as have pay equity for women, but he recognizes that many women work jobs that are tip-based. So he wants to raise the tipped minimum wage to $15. In keeping with his family values speech that you may have heard recently, Bernie wants to ensure that all citizens have at least 12 weeks of paid family leave. Women are often caregivers, we often take care of our parents, we often take care of kids. When they get sick, what's going to happen to us? Are we going to go bankrupt? It's very important that we have that family medical leave. He wants to expand the WIC program for pregnant mothers and infants. Yes. So that babies coming into the world are healthy babies. Yes. And not only the babies, but the moms. Yeah. We care about the living human being, the mother. He wants to expand Social Security. Women live a long time these days. How are we going to survive? Making healthcare a right, not a privilege. And then some other ones, just racial justice. 50% of people of color are women. This is a women's issue. It's not just about making our pay equal. These are all women's issues, and Bernie recognizes it. He has a very extensive platform for women's rights, and I want you to all go to his website and check it out. It's amazing. So I have 1 minute, so I'm just going to wrap up with, again, going back to the wish that, someday we're going to have a female president, and that is something we hope for our daughters to see happen. I hope I see it in my lifetime. That will bring us such joy, such hope. But let's make it in 8 years, and let's make it Elizabeth Warren. There's Bernie buttons. We're going to have a little Aloha Bernie happy hour at the Hala Kahiki, which is 15 minutes away if you guys are in the neighborhood afterwards. And thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Isn't she great? Actually, I like these young people because, you know, they have legs, they have eyes, they have vigor and energy, and they're not at home watching TV or playing video games. They're here. Wait till you see the next one. You know, how we talk about income inequality, how people are working longer and not getting paid. How about the children who are graduating with huge loans? They're getting into a world with no jobs or good jobs. I like the part that they're home. I like my kids home. But not for the wrong reasons. They should not be home. So here is somebody I just met today, but I spoke to her yesterday. She just graduated from high school. She has aspirations to be a senator one day. She's only 18. And she wants to give a talk about what it's like from her point, this world that she's becoming an adult into. Please welcome Miss Mercy McKnight.
Hi. My name's Mercy. I'm 18 and I just graduated from high school this spring. Every single time that I go to anything political, I'm always told, oh my gosh, it's so great to see someone so young getting into politics. Well, I don't have a choice. No one else is. No one sees that it's important. And one of the most, everyone's blind to income inequality and how big of a part of our nation's issues are connected to that. And why do we have income inequality? Corporate greed.
Yeah.
Now, we all know that minimum wage at $8.25, which is higher than most states in America, is not a living wage. And I haven't enrolled in college yet, but I know that I'm going to be faced with a lifetime of debt that doesn't actually put me further ahead than anyone else. I don't think it's okay that we have CEOs laughing at the idea of a $15 an hour wage, saying that it's going to make us go broke, when those CEOs are making 500 times their average employee, making close to $5,000 per hour. And they want to laugh at our $15 an hour. Back when my mom's pretty old to be a mother, but back when my mom was my age, which was 40 years ago, you had to work 14 hours per week to pay for a year of college. Now you have to work 35 hours a week to pay for a year of college. I have to work full time in order to pay for college. How can you work full time, 35 hours a week, and be able to study enough to pull what you need away to make it in the real world? I love Bernie Sanders because he says the corporate greed needs to end. Stop buying our politicians. Stop putting, the Koch brothers and how much they're going to put in this election is ridiculous. But stop buying our politicians. Get the people to care about what we're doing. No one cares. I'm out on the street and I'm told you can't make a difference. You as one person cannot make a difference. They are wrong. They're 110% wrong. because my oneself can go out and talk to all of my friends, educate them about politics, show that their vote does count in every election that truly matters, which is legislative, our local government, our state government, our US government, and if one vote counts, then every single person counts, because every single person, every single American citizen has a right to vote. So we need to get them to know that they have a voice. When we look at how many people don't vote, it shows why we're in such a horrible rut.
Yes.
Bernie Sanders is our guy because he says he cannot do it by himself. We need to be involved. We need to end the corporate greed. We need to stop income inequality. And we, as a group, need to stand up to the supreme rich and say, I'm worth more than $8.25 an hour.
House. Oh my God, I got goosebumps listening to her. I want to show just your video to the whole bunch of people around so that they can see. You know, Mercy, that you kick butt today. Mercy. Okay, now the next one. Where's my agenda? Okay. let's ooh, yeah. This is an awesome person who's coming. You know how Martin Luther King always said that we live in a country where there's two Americas. One that is, fat and happy with all the money, and then there's the other America that goes to bed hungry, which is a sad way to be. And one of the things that Bernie Sanders has actually the only candidate who walked with Martin Luther King into Selma. He's the only one who actually has been working on this issue of racial and social justice. But sadly, he comes from a very white state. Now, I have found that being brown, I can say black and all that stuff much better than my white husband. Okay? And that is the truth. And in Bernie Sanders' case, what's happened, he doesn't have the black issues that people have to deal with, so that they can't showcase all that he's done. But we have somebody over here today who is actually trying very hard to change that, because we are here as ambassadors for Bernie to say what kind of work that he is doing. And we are very honored to have this person. His focus is on the 1st, 2nd, and 7th congressional districts in Illinois, but not limited to it. And he has formed two vanguard groups, Illinois Blacks for Bernie and the Bernie Brigade. They're charged with educating and registered voters on who Bernie is and getting delegates to the DNC. Give a big hand to the chairman, Committee to Preserve Voting Rights, Mr. Bruce Crosby.
I'd like to thank Sharon Sanders and Dr. B for inviting me here today. And I would also give a shout out to Laura. That was a great job Dr. Chamberlain did in terms of what we need to do. And Angelique, I thought you were great in terms of identifying a real key issue, because people get confused with who and what a socialist is.
Yes.
Let me say that we came together when Bernie first called for an organizing committee meeting on the 29th of July. And since then, well, our focus was on the 1st, 2nd, and 7th congressional districts. Now, we focus on those districts because those are the 3 majority African-American districts in the state of Illinois. And Bernie has had some fantastic turnouts all across the Southwest and the West. But there's one thing I found very interesting. There's not too many black people in his audience.
That's right.
And for us to win Illinois, we have to win Cook County. And to win Cook County, we have to win the 1st and 2nd congressional districts and the 2nd. So our focus has been on those 3 congressional districts. Starting in September, we're going to have some conference calls, and then on the 9th of September, we're going to have a meeting. Now, we have 2 main focuses at this moment. First is getting Bernie on the ballot in the state of Illinois.
That's right.
And second is identifying delegates. In our district, we have 9 delegates from the 1st. We have 8 delegates from the 2nd, and we have 9 delegates from the 7th. So we have some work to do in terms of identifying qualified, committed people to run for delegates. And we want to be able to hit the street by the 8th of October, when they can begin circulating petitions with these delegates. So we got work to do between now and the 8th of October in terms of identifying and sorting through the delegates and finding people who are committed to represent Bernie at the Democratic National Convention. In addition, our concern is for us to win Illinois. Bernie has got to get 50% or better of the vote in your congressional district.
Yes.
I don't know how many congressional districts we have here today. I hope it's 19 or 18. Yeah, I hope it's 18. But as many as we have, we need to make that our priority, that we turn out the vote for Bernie Sanders.
Yes.
We want to have 50% or better of the vote for Bernie Sanders. Now, our district is going to be hard, because when I talk to the average black person about Bernie Sanders, they've never heard his name.
Yes.
Can you believe it? They've never heard his name.
Yes.
So in the 1st, 2nd, and 7th congressional district, we have tremendous work to do. What we've done is we've formed 2 groups. One, we formed Illinois for Bernie. The second group was the Bernie Brigade. Now, the Bernie Brigade is what we figure our vanguard group. We want them to be able to go door to door, distribute Bernie Sanders literature. We want to do a plus-minus count before the weather gets cold. I don't know if you all are familiar with a plus-minus count, but we want to just go door to door and ask every registered voter, will you vote for Bernie? And then we want to count the people who say yes and the people who say no and the people undecided, because we want to get ready for election day. We want to be able to turn out the plus voters and the undecided voters for Bernie Sanders on election day. So we urge all of you all to do the same work in your congressional districts. Set a goal, 50% or better of the vote for Bernie. That's important, because you got to remember, Bernie has had 20% of the vote to win 1 delegate. 15%, Laura said 15. So we need at least 15% of the vote in that congressional district and to be eligible for a delegate. So we want our delegates elected. We want Bernie to come to the convention strong. And we want Illinois to be strong.
Yes.
We want to win. Illinois. And that's what we have to make a commitment. We have to make a commitment today that our goal is to beat the machine
Yeah.
where it the White United and Ron Emanuel are not backing up. They're going all out for Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
And so we have work to do. We need to educate people about who Bernie Sanders is, the importance of Bernie Sanders. Now, before I go, let me tell you what got me involved with Bernie Sanders. I like political independence. And I don't know one in America who's been elected a mayor of a major city as an independent. I don't know one in America who's been elected to the U.S. House as an independent.
Yes.
I don't know one in America who's been elected to the United States Senate as an independent.
Yes.
So we have a very unique individual with Bernie Sanders. Let's take advantage of who we got.
Yes.
Let's win Illinois. Thank you.
We have one addition to this agenda, and you will want to hear her, and she is very dear to me. She is actually just turned 17, and she was the reason that we got our Lake County for Bernie Sanders formed in a garage in Buffalo Grove, and she ran 4 or 5 interns, was able to set up databases, everything, amazing organizational skill for somebody so young, and I'm in awe of her. Please give a big, big hand to Amanda Lotris. I call her the amazing
Yeah, we had like 8 to 10 interns in my garage over the summer. It was a lot of fun, but I'm not going to talk about anything fun right now. It's not going to pump you up and you're not going to cheer because we're going to talk about structure. So let's see if this presentation works, and then we'll get started. Or I can talk about a little bit before it actually shows up on the screen. Is it working or not?
For some reason, it is not showing. It's showing my background.
All right,
I have no
cool.
idea what's going on.
So for now, let's talk about the gist of it. So before, the reason why we're changing to this team structure, which Gloria Chamberlain was actually talking about a little bit before, except I'm going to go into a little bit more detail. We had a pretty disorganized structure before. We had interns, we had volunteers coming in and out, but it wasn't really an organized thing. We didn't have teams, we didn't have any leadership. It was just like a core group of volunteers that were kind of making decisions, but we weren't exactly moving to where we wanted to be. So what we're doing right now is, with the help and advice of a national staff member of the Bernie campaign, actually, what we're doing is we're forming teams based on the roles that volunteers want to take on. So there will be things like a print team, they'll design media and then print them out on t-shirts and stuff. It'll be cheaper, it'll be union printed hopefully, something like that. We'll have a team that's specifically dedicated to canvassing, and they'll organize canvassing events. They'll go to places like community colleges, they'll go to farmers markets, and they'll actually canvass. There's a whole bunch of teams so we can really, really get organized and make sure that we're all self-sufficient. So if one person leaves, then that's fine. Everyone else can take over because there's that many people. And that's actually the reason why we wanted you all here today, so that we can do this in the future. Awesome. Great. Okay, so yeah, structure. Let's move on to the next one. All right, so this is basically, or let me do the thing. So this is what's going on basically for us. So we have this top portion, right? So we're going to have some leadership. I put that in air quotes because it's not one of those things where it's like a ladder and like people are above everyone else and you have to report back to people. It's more of some people want to dedicate more time than others. So the people who choose to do that, we want probably 3 coordinators for every team. And there will be like a volunteer coordinator, there will be a phone bank coordinator, and those people just be responsible for dedicating a ton, like mass amounts of time to the campaign. And if people have questions, new volunteers have questions, they can either go to any other member, or they can go to those coordinators. Their phone numbers will be available to everyone. They'll just give them a call like, hey, what's happening this weekend? This is what's happening this weekend, because I'm a coordinator and I know what's going on. That's just going to be the responsibility. So we'll have a volunteer coordinator, data coordinator, etc., event coordinator, Iowa team. This information will be provided to you via email after this event, so I don't have to go like super into depth right now. And then we're going to have other things. So this is, we were at first going to only do 3 counties. We're obviously expanding a bit larger than that. We're now Northeastern Illinois for Bernie, not just Lake County for Bernie. So in each of these separate counties, we're going to have specific things, because outreach team, you're not going to want one outreach team for the entirety of Northeastern Illinois, because there's a whole bunch of different demographics. In one county, you're not going to know the demographics, okay, 2 minutes, in the other counties. So just stuff like that, that's more specific, okay. I'm going to talk really fast from now on. So these are basically just the duties that each one of these things will do, and we're going to go into breakout sessions. And what we're going to talk about is, first of all, how you can get more organized, whatever your breakout leader wants to talk about, but also what our teams are. So everyone's going to be like, hey, I want to be on that team and that team, and I actually created a Google Sheet, or it's called a Google Form. And once you click on the link, I'll email it to everyone. You can click check boxes for which jobs you want to do and for which teams you want to be on. So everyone selects their own teams. We're not forcing you to do anything you don't want to do. We're not going to say, hey, you can't be on that team. We wouldn't do that. So, all right, we can just like kind of move through this like every few seconds so people can just take a look. And I guess I'll just talk about teams a little bit more. So yeah, we'll have like 3 coordinators for every team as of now. We can always have more. Dr. Laura Chamberlain was talking maybe voting for team leadership. I think that might not be a bad idea either. We'll figure it out. It'll be based on experience, based on how much time you have. It's not going to be like this person's way above you. We're not going to have like a hierarchy or everything. It'll be very, very grassroots. Probably the most grassroots of any campaign I've ever been on for sure. Because in the past, we've always had teams for the bigger campaigns that I've been a part of. But nothing quite like this, where it's just a whole bunch of volunteers like, I want to do this, let's do this. We're printing our own materials because Bernie shops are so backed up, guys. Like, if you order something right now, it'll come in like 5 months. Like, it's so bad. But, so yeah, we're going to print our own things, union made, and then obviously small business printers, stuff like that, no big companies. We need graphic designers. We need every job you can think of. Anyone's experience will literally make so much of a difference. Graphic designer, yes. If you are an accountant, we need you for finance team. Yes. We need a finance team so bad. We need to fund all these things like we're doing right now. I'm gonna put the microphone down, but remember that for the breakout session. All right, finance team. Okay.
Just very quickly, what we're going to do now is, the breakout groups. I had people coming to me and saying it would be best if we broke out in in congressional districts, and some said by towns, zip codes. So somebody came and talked about delegates, which we didn't. I thought it would be difficult for a lot of people to grasp. Coming from where I am, I find it very difficult. So I asked somebody called Stephen came, and I said, have something holding up saying delegates come here. So what I would suggest, break out by congressional districts and then find each other. And the idea is to share your names and numbers. There's going to be facilitators or group leaders, whatever you want to call yourself. Because I know like Joni, Lindred, she is excellent. I know some of the names. Laura is wonderful. Amanda. These are the names I'm calling out because I know they've been doing this. Angie, there's a lot of people over here.
Can you designate areas? Is this we?
Actually, we were given the bag, but I thought we would have more tables.
Yes.
So if you can stand up and like have a zip code. What zip codes are you from? The towns? Okay. I'm being told congressional districts. So do you want to do that? Okay. Yes.
Okay. So maybe we should have it so whoever's leading a breakout session for any district, like come up here and then we can like name you and then we go and then everyone from that district goes so we like know where we're going. That was a lot of going for one sentence. Yeah. All right. So okay, if you're leading a group, come up here. Please, everyone stay seated and quiet for now so you can listen, and then just go with the people that you're supposed to go with. But stay like keep it down low. All right.
Okay, so I don't think we have all of the congressional districts that are represented. But why don't we just pick corners of the room, okay? And then we can move from there. So the, Bruce, where do you want to meet up? Because you
First congressional district right here.
First congressional district right here, okay? And the next one will be second, right behind them. Seventh, okay, hold on one second.
So they're gonna
Seventh
get
congressional
ready to go
district, so
into
it'll be
breakout
first,
groups right now.
second, and seventh,
So we're
okay?
gonna pause the
Then
video
fourth, at
and
the
we'll get it
base of
started
this,
real
these
soon. There's
chairs.
gonna be some closing
Fourth,
remarks
down there.
and we also
Will be
might
the
doing
base
some
of the
recording from the breakout
chairs in
groups.
here,
So
okay,
please
fifth.
keep posted
And
we'll
then,
let you know what's coming up next, all right?
Ninth will be in
Thanks
the
for watching,
middle
and
of
go
this
Bernie.
chair area. And then eighth
You know, what gets me so mad about these billionaires is that they're getting their money from the stock options, and the way they get the stock options is to cut everything until there's nothing left to cut. And I call them traitors. They're traitors to this country. So when they say Bernie is a socialist, I say to them, you have given everything to the communists over in China. You know, and that is the answer. Now look at in 08, Social Security, Mr. Bush wanted to give it to the privatizers. And where would we be? Okay?
On the basis that it's going to be invested in.
Yeah, so here's another thing I want you to go away with thinking about. You don't have to, you can forget what I said. But I love to go into deep analysis something. I have all these grandkids getting ready for college. Okay, we keep saying, well, it's so expensive they can't afford it. But we have to really look at why it's so expensive. There's no reason. It's no reason. They keep building these buildings because they're tax exempt. They don't pay for water, nothing. There is no reason in this world except profits at the top. For education to cost anything, we haven't had inflation in years. The banks are getting interest rates at 0, and they're very upset in the markets because it might go up to 1%. Because they can't then pass it along to your kids and your family to 8 and 9%. No matter who it is, we have to understand we're all one. And no matter what group we are part of, what religion, whatever, we're all one. There may be people we don't like. I don't like a lot of my relatives, and they're all white. You know, so there are people within every group that are good and bad. We have to come together and be colorblind, religious blind. We don't care. It's our battle. So I want to say to you all, thank you for coming. I'm so appreciative that you've been here. There was something else I was going to say, but I'm sure it wasn't important. And so we are just going to end this with some comments, from the groups. Okay, Carrie, you want to come up here and say it? Any final comments about something you did in your group that was of interest? Why don't you come up here? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, everyone, we have petitions going around. This is actually a bipartisan thing, and this is a really great way to show that we can work together. These petitions are being circulated throughout the state of Illinois, and it is an effort to amend the state of Illinois Constitution to prevent gerrymandering. So, yeah. It's not something that is actually directly endorsed by Bernie, but we kind of feel, or at least I kind of feel, that it's something that Bernie would support. And the amendment is on the back if you want to read it real quick. But if anybody would like to sign it, you must be a registered voter, and you must put the address that you are registered to vote at. So if you are a registered voter and you have moved, then you need to put the address that is on your voter registration. So anybody who has not, I tried to pass it around in the groups, but I didn't get that done quick enough. So anybody who wants to sign one of these petitions, please, grab me.
Grab me.
Well,
thank you.
Don't grab me.
Raise your hand. Come up here and
Grab
say
my
something.
attention. Okay, we have somebody in the back, and then
Wait, I'm going up to my age, so I
Yeah,
can't
we
even
have 30 seconds to change a voter's mind on an average canvas when we're talking to people. I think we're a very intelligent group. My question is, we're going to be hitting the Neil list and their 30-second approaches. In your opinion, what is a 5-word phrase that's memorable, like Bernie's for Main Street, not for Wall Street? Everyone has to repeat these because we are fighting a very serious campaign. Internal and external.
Good point.
the elevator pitch.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Thank you. We have to have those buzzwords, those quick things to get people's attention. People's attentions are very short.
Did you want to come up?
Bernie for clean water, drinking water.
Hi, I won't be long. My name is Patty Grant, former committee woman for Mummy Township. One of the things we need to do as soon as possible that I would like everyone to do, and I'm going to do it, is get the Bernie Sanders car, magnetic car logo and put it on your car, because that's a quick way to spread Bernie's name all over. Put that logo. However, when you get out of your car, take that magnet poster off your cars so no one steals it. But please get the Bernie Sanders car magnet poster and put them on both sides of your cars. Get the bumper stickers. Let's do this, everyone. Thank you.
Somebody over there wanted to say, what is it?
There are new like magnetic things. That's what she was talking about
On the official site.
On the site, you can buy everything. It's the easiest way to go to his site and do that. I missed somebody over here, but go ahead.
I want everybody to repeat after me. I am. Because we are. Because we are. Because we are. Therefore, Bernie will be the president.
Okay, one quick thing I'd like for you to consider in your schedule next week, Labor Day. If you haven't already seen this event posted on BernieSanders.com, there is a big event going on in Woodstock, Illinois. That's why Woodstock could not be here today, because they're still working on it. Let me tell you why it's important. On that event, you'll read some of the history that is unique to Woodstock and the Pullman neighborhood when it comes to the creation of the Labor Day holiday itself. That's right. Okay, so most people don't even know what Labor Day means. We are going to do an old-fashioned Labor Day celebration up in Woodstock, in the place where Eugene Debs was imprisoned on Monday, Labor Day, on Monday, from 11 to 2. Check BernieSanders.com. The other reason why this is important, this is happening in McHenry County, and I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to McHenry County, but that county has been red for over 150 years. Now, we also have, of our 12 council people that are running on the board, 7 of them are about to be indicted for working with Bruce Rauner to get his turnaround agenda adopted. So they have violated the Open Meeting Secrets Act, and we are also the first county to adopt Bruce Rauner's turnaround plan as a result of their meeting. So we need as many people as we can get to come out and support not only Bernie Sanders, but we're getting unions out there too, so we can get both of these groups together. So please consider putting this on your agenda for next week, Monday, Labor Day, 11 to 2. Bring people out who don't know Bernie, don't know Woodstock, don't know unions. This will be a great opportunity.
Where can we find that?
I'm sorry?
Where can we find that?
It's on BernieSanders.com under the events.
There are also 2 more events coming up that nobody knows about yet, and I'll call on you next. Real quickly, just keep your eyes open for this. WCPT Radio, Progressive Radio, is sponsoring with several unions. Tom, it's going to be a live stream, whatever. One is Tom Harpen. Not in person, but on screen, and you can talk to him. You'll be able to talk to him and converse with him on this. The other one is Wayne Besson. And we don't have different places of Illinois. So I want to travel. So anybody ever wants to ride out to no man's land, as we call it, they would call this no man's land. Watch out for that, because we need to keep building and building. It looks like a lot of people today, but there's millions of people in Illinois. That's the problem. So we have somebody in the back. Go ahead. Can you come up here so it's really hard to hear?
I have a question that directs structure. Something we did tonight was very, very important. We have become a fragmented but a very large group of people that were associated with Bernie Sanders and wanted to run for president, etc. Now we've broken into smaller groups, so we're focusing in our congressional districts. This is an excellent thing for us to do. Now we focus our power. But my question to the chair was, what conduits do each one of the congressional districts have, so we all stay in communication? And is there a conduit between that group and the actual Bernie campaign, so we can work in our area, but know that we're all connected?
Yeah. Well, do you want to answer that, Laura? I mean, the thing is that everybody who's the chair of their, then I'll let you give it to you. Everybody who's the chair of each one of these groups will be in contact with everybody else. And somebody was saying there is going to be a new person on board for Bernie that we can be in touch with. where we're all in the same conduit, so.
Yeah, remember, because we're volunteers, I think we need, each congressional district should have a team of 2 or 3, okay? We need redundancy, I cannot stress that enough. And that team should be talking to each other on another listserv. So hopefully the organizers that got the full list of everybody, they'll reach out to the leaders and get those teams. I know in Congressional District 9, we got a big leadership team together, but we haven't gotten it down to like the 2 or 3 communicators yet. So that it's going to take another week. Okay. I did want to tell you that in the northeast part of Chicago, we're going to burn the beaches on Labor Day, and there are literally hundreds of thousands of people that go to the beaches if it's a nice day on Labor Day. So please come on. There's 49th Ward burning the beaches, and 48th and 47th Ward burning the beaches on Bernie Sanders. I'm sorry. And Evanston. I'm so sorry. And Evanston burning the beaches too. So right there, a couple 100,000 people.
Great, that's terrific.
Okay, folks, I just wanted to talk to you about coordination across the city, across the districts, across the state. We're going to have a statewide Illinois for Bernie conference call. It's going to happen on Wednesday, September 19th, I believe. It's at 7 o'clock. That we have it scheduled right now. You can register for that call by going to illinois4bernie.org. That's Illinois, the number 4bernie.org. So you can go, you can find it there. It's a conference call that you can register for, and we'll be able to communicate, talk to each other, and coordinate that way across the entire state. So just wanted to let folks know.
Wait, yeah, what you said September 19th is a Saturday.
Oh, it's a Saturday? Then it's whatever. It's
16th?
16th, thank you, yes. I'm a little upside down.
You can watch this video.
Yeah, there's also on illinoisforbernie.org. This event has been streamed. So if people didn't get a chance to check it out, you can also direct them to Illinois for Bernie. It's going to be there to check it out. So illinoisforbernie.org. Does that sound good? Okay, so again, register for that conference call, statewide conference call, the 16th. Thank you, at 7 o'clock.
Great. I know we have another event. Any other comments before we break up?
Yeah, that's wrong. If that's a Saturday, that's wrong. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna make it up.
The registration is correct. Yeah. Thanks for letting me know. I'll change that.
It looks like Labor Day is going to be a big kickoff in Northeast Illinois. The Kane County for Bernie group is going to be hosting a table at the Fox Valley Folk Fest in Geneva. We expect around 3,000 people over the 2 days, and folk music people are our people, so we're looking forward to that. So if you get down that way and want to hear some good music, stop by and say hello. Also, on a personal note, I was passing my notebooking around getting signatures, and all my notes fell out someplace. If anybody sees some yellow legal pad sheets floating around with hens scratching on them that you can't read, could you let me know? Thank you.
Okay, very good. Anything else before we close shop? You want to say anything, or we just want to thank you all for coming? Okay, come on up. We're going to still have a crowd. But I am deaf and I can't hear unless you come up here.
Okay, I just have one comment. So I don't really know, I've tried my best to keep on top of all of the different Bernie Facebooks and websites and et cetera, that there are out there, because there's so many of them. But I have yet to really find one that unifies everyone to get marketing funds for here in Illinois. Especially within our districts, because for me myself, I've already spent hundreds of dollars on having flyers and donating towards the main campaign, et cetera, and I feel like I'm pretty much tapped out for at least the next month, although I would love to go canvassing. So I'd really love it if everyone can come together to where we can ask people at least for $1 for support, and then all of the funds go directly towards marketing materials such as flyers, posters, billboards, whatever we believe
will be the most effective in our district.
Thank you very much. So we have a few more comments. Do you want to come up here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted to follow up on your comment. I think that not only that, but like if we bought yard signs and we could sell them for $5 a piece at events, because we've got all these events coming up, people are going to buy them. Whereas if you go to the website and buy them, they're $13 a piece. This came up at our organizing thing, so we start to get the message out. But what it needs is somebody stepping up as a treasurer and learning FEC law. So if somebody's here that can do that, I mean, we need to have, I think we need to have some way to facilitate the funds here in Illinois. You know, still give to the Sanders campaign and win Iowa and New Hampshire, but we're going to have to take buses over to Iowa, and it's going to take some money, an organization just like it was for you to get this room. So, and I appreciate that, by the way. And other than that, there's an event September 20th in Yorkville, Ice Cream Social, Foxy's Ice Cream, and that is from what time? 2 to 4, Foxy's Ice Cream in Yorkville.
Thank you. Well, we have something we have to clarify with the campaign, and we want to be very, very clear we don't cross lines on it. We've had this problem. I'm sure it's going to work out. There are some on the campaign who want nothing is not a union bug. On the other hand, we were saying that Bernie's for small business, and if the small business is going to make a few dollars, I mean, I can't imagine he'd be against it, even if they're not union shop.
There's no union coffee shops in Chicago.
Well, I mean, that's a problem with, yeah, go ahead, Barb.
You don't necessarily have to have a union bug. I mean, it's nice if you can get one. Go to union printers and they can maybe put one on one flyer and then duplicate it from there. The other alternative is...
That's not the same thing as being a union shop, though.
The other thing you can do
But it's
is,
a couple of sizes unions.
you know, printed by donated labor. You put that
Okay.
at the bottom,
Yeah.
and that takes the place of the bug.
Okay, this is, and we still have to clarify what you're saying, which is a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, as somebody who helped start the Small Business Advocacy Council, and I've talked to Bernie about it, small business, helping them and giving them breaks is what he cares about.
Yeah.
So, but we want to clarify with the campaign.
Yeah, so printed, it's on here.
Oh, okay.
There's Alliance Printing in Lombard is a small family-owned print shop, but they are union, and they've given money to the Democrats in the area before. Alliance Printing Lombard.
Okay, that's good to know. So if we're gonna, okay.
Sorry.
Amanda?
Hey. Okay, so I have another thing to talk about. It's kind of social media related. It's kind of internal communications related. It's kind of everything related. Because the thing about this whole new team structure, yeah, I'm talking about structure again, you guys. We have something called Slack, and if we need any more convincing to use it, the official campaign is actually suggesting that grassroots volunteers in states use it. So basically what it is, it's like, it's
I always get it wrong.
Slack. Not slacker, it's Slack. Like, I am a slacker, but without the ER, like Slack. So it's a whole bunch of little chats. So think of Facebook messaging, think of emails. It's all in one place. So there will be a different channel. It's basically like different group chats underneath this whole category, which is Northeastern Illinois for Bernie. And then underneath you'd have a group for financing, you'd have a group for outreach in Cook County, you'd have another group for social media, another group for team print. Right, that's the thing we gotta talk about. So the thing about Slack that's unfortunate is you have to invite everyone individually by their email address. And I want to invite you to all these private groups in Slack, but in order to do that, I need to sign up for the specific ones you want to do. So there's going to be a link I'm going to send out. It's to a Google form. It's kind of like a survey. You put in your contact info, and then under that, there'll be a whole bunch of little checkboxes. The checkboxes will have, each checkbox will have a different team. So it'll be like financing, blah, 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 team, blah, 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 team. You check every one you want to be a part of, and then I will invite you via email after I get that information from you. And then you'll sign up for your Slack account from that invitation, right? And then from that, I'll add you to your specific groups that you want to be part of, the different teams in the Slack. So like I was just told, hell, that would be great. So I can't be inviting every single person. And unfortunately, there's like a method that I use. It's color coded and everything in Google Drive. So if you know how to use Google Drive and you're like pretty decent at computers, you don't need to be a computer expert. If you use like Facebook chat or you use like Google on like on a regular basis, it'd be really cool if you could help me out with like a Google sheet along with inviting people to talk. That'd be really awesome. So talk to me afterwards and help me. All right.
Thank you, Amanda. We have one last comment.
Okay.
We're gonna wrap it up.
I'll be quick. How many here are precinct committeemen? Okay, we need more. The Democrats do not have enough precinct committeemen. Call your Democratic leader and become a precinct committeeman, because when you're collecting signatures to get Bernie on a petition, you're gonna have to know the area and your neighbors. You could tell them, hey, I'm your neighbor, I'm collecting signatures for Bernie, and it makes it a lot easier. So don't forget to make that call.
Okay, it depends on where you you live. So Cook County, to be a precinct committeeman, you have to be part of the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party I'm so sorry, the city of Chicago is for Hillary. So we're gonna have our own precinct committeeman for the thank you. Just FYI, I don't know, Chicago is a whole other entity, right? But if you're out in Cook County or some of the other counties, then you can talk to your leadership about becoming a precinct committeeman. But it depends on if they're gonna be Hillary or Bernie, you guys.
Okay, so I don't want anybody to be, I was gonna close it up, but come on.
Sure.
I don't wanna deny you your right.
Okay.
I just wanted to know if anyone would be willing to include their emails and sources of where they get like their buttons and their t-shirts and their signs like mass produced, because we haven't figured out how to do that with my group yet. So if that could also be included to everyone's like mass email, that would be great.
Oh, yeah, we have links.
Yeah, links.
Okay, so we have 2 responses here.
Yeah. The simplest, the best.
Wait, I'll call you 1 second. Go ahead.
The simplest and the best is to go.
Wait, she's saying, and then I'll call on you. Go ahead.
Okay, here's what you do. The simplest and the best is to go directly to Bernie's campaign website,
It's gonna take forever.
www.berniesanders.com. And there's a shop there. And you buy, it's all union made, it's made in America.
He's
The
backed up.
proceeds go directly to.
Okay, and
Directly
that's
to
great.
Bernie's campaign above cost.
Okay. You said something in the,
She can look for
can you stand up so we can hear you?
In the UPS store, if you do it yourself, self-serve, it's only 6 cents per copy.
Okay.
Shauna?
That's good to know. That's good to know.
100 or more.
Okay.
I can do that.
Everybody here signed up with an email. Are you gonna send out around like a listserv for everybody?
I'm not sure obviously I have most of them because they came from Bernie. I don't know that I think I want to release it to, I don't know what the rules, let's talk about the rules.
No, I'm sending an invitation to a listserv for everybody that joined, and then we can talk more about these individuals.
That's fine, that's great, okay. I'm not gonna send the list of names and stuff out.
No.
Okay,
You
no
sent
problem,
me
we'll do that.
invitation for a
We'll do that, okay. Before I had, did you want to say something?
Oh, this is the last one.
You can do, or we have several button designs, like the ones in the back of the room. Please go ahead and get some while you're here. They're available for free. We just make the designs, then you go to a union print shop in your neighborhood, have them printed, sell them at cost, make the money back that you put into it. If you make any more money than that, you can send it to berniesanders.com, or you can put it back into your local meetups, like to cover printing costs and things like that. You should not lose money for being a volunteer. Thank you.
No, the designs are on the site. IllinoisForBernie.org. The designs are on the site.
The designs are on our IllinoisForBernie.org, and a union print shop that does buttons in Chicago. You can go to Busy Beaver.
Okay, let's get our collective heads together and get Bernie elected as the next president of the United States.
Thanks for watching.